Good morning, everyone. It is 8:54. It was quite a morning at the school. Definitely very Monday, Tuesday. There was no school yesterday, so very Monday, Tuesday. And yeah, here's the hair. I think I'm still wanting it to go orange. But let's see. It was my first time driving there, and that worked out smoothly, like in terms of I didn't make a wrong turn. There's literally one way that you could make it to that back lot through the neighborhood, and if you turn too soon, you're trapped and you have to go back out again. So I got that part right. I wasn't expecting there to be a ton of people walking down the alley I had to drive down, but there was another car driving down, so everybody knew to get out of the way. That was fine. But there's no parking. They have a very small lot there for teachers, subs, and staff, that kind of thing. I do have permission to park there. And then part of it is just diagonal lines where you're not supposed to park, but it looks like you do because there were already 3 cars parked there, and I parked behind one. They were kind of doubling up, and I was like, really nervous. So I told him, I was like, I parked behind somebody in the double line, so hopefully that's okay. I'm only here for an hour. And when I came out, there was even more cars parked there, so I'm like, okay, so maybe it's not as big of a deal, but I do think I need to get there a little earlier. I don't know how early is gonna help though, since the staff does get there pretty early. The office staff is there very early. But yeah, there was 2 buses late, which is always a little chaotic. A ton of early dismissal changes, and normally those aren't a big deal because it'll just be like a note in the attendance folder for a teacher and I write it up. But it was a lot of like parents walking in and telling me, so like I was writing it on the spot, which was a little bit more anxiety inducing because you don't want to like mishear them and write the wrong teacher name or the wrong student stuff. I had a lot of those. A couple students I had to escort to their classes, and I did right when I finally was like, okay, I'm gonna head out. Somebody showed up with like to drop off their kids' classes and change their dismissal. So yeah, it was crazy. Lots of tardies, but all good. I felt the only thing I feel like I don't know is the freaking teachers' names, and I have looked at them once after, I think last week, maybe the week before. I think the week before because I was kind of suffering. So I need to study them some more, maybe write them. I think writing them would help. Freaking Spanish class. Anyway, I just left there and I have this pile of library books that I need to return in the next 2 days, and they have an outdoor terminal where you can put them in. So I was going to do that because they don't open until 9:30, but it's broken. I saw somebody leaving with a book in their hand. I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then I pull up and start to get out with my big pile of books. There's somebody pulling up behind me, and I see this big exclamation point flashing on the screen, and then the light is orange. And we both get out of there, and we're like, it's broken, isn't it? Because you know, we all have the books that are due today or something. Mine aren't, but almost. I'm going to return them today. So here I am at another grocery store. This one's a little closer to us, because yesterday would have been Sebastian's cooking class, and because it was a holiday, he did not have it. He will still have the same number as everybody else. He just has more makeup days at the end. But he was really upset, and I thought I prepared him for him. Like when we were leaving last week, I was like, no, you don't have it next week. You've got a long break. It's okay. But he woke up this morning sure he had it, so he was very let down. I'm like, okay, we'll do a cooking class together. And he kept saying all these really complicated things, like he wanted to make sushi. I'm like, I can't prepare for that, especially because he likes like fish sushi. Like that's a little too much. And then he chose a quiche. I'm like, dude, you barely want to hang out after school. You want to like run out outside. But we compromised on mini quiches, so I need to run in and get like all the things that I can't eat, like heavy cream and cheddar cheese and stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that first, and then go to the library when it's open and I can actually walk inside. And it's cold today, so we should be good. Leaving the groceries in the car for 15 minutes. And yeah, that's all my updates. That's all I've got for ya. Okay, I'm gonna bring up the recipe page, which is a nightmare because there's a million ads popping up and their life story, and it's so hard. I'm gonna like get to the ingredients and take a screenshot so I can run away from that freaking page. I hate ads so much. Okay, bye. evening's gonna go. It's already approaching 7, I think. But hi, I'm in the bath. There's the bath. There's me. We will stay here. Hair is up, so excuse it. I didn't really care what it looked like, but hi, it's been a day. I'm just really tired because my anemia is pretty bad. Between the UTI, bleeding for days, and then my period, which always gets me. So at least all that is done with, and I just need to recover. So that's good. But yeah, the morning it could have been frustrating, but luckily it didn't frustrate me. Everything was good at the office. And then I tried to go to the library and drop off books, but the machine was broken. So I went and did my groceries and then came back. Had to wait like 7 or 8 minutes. Went in and I decided I was gonna go to the thrift store to see if I could find anything for all my Halloween projects. So far I have a King Dedede costume I have to make for Jax, and then I'm doing a Mario Kart themed trunk or treat. So there's a lot going on for that. But they don't open till 10, and the library opened at 9:30. You would think that's not a problem, but they're like 5 minutes away from each other. So I go in and I try and waste time getting books for Sebastian, but kids were starting to, like babies and toddlers were starting to come in with their parents for baby story time. So I was like, went away, and I totally forgot I was trying to spend time there. And yeah, there was still 15 minutes. So I'm like, okay, I'll just drive over to Starbucks and get a chai. That sounds amazing. That sounds really good. I haven't had one in a long time. And we don't have the close one anymore. We don't have one close to us. That's what that SR coffee is now. But there's one not too far. It's like a 7-minute drive, I don't know. So I drive over there and park in the parking lot, and I always order from the parking lot. But the mobile order was turned off, so it said it was open. But I get to the door, and there's a note on the door, sorry, we're closed, we're working to try and get back open for you. I'm like, can you put that in the app? Because I know you can override your hours until you're closed. Could have saved me some time. So at this point, I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna drive to the thrift store, but I'll take a little bit longer way. But then I made a mistake and got into a turn lane, and so it was really a long way, but it's all good because I got there and it was after 10. Did not find anything for me except for those little skeleton guys. No clothes. I was looking in the clothes mostly to see if there's something I could use to sew, like the tunic for King Dedede, like it's a base, but I think I'm gonna have to do everything from scratch, so I'm gonna need to get fabric ordered soon or go get some. But Sebastian, I got him a long sleeve shirt and a dollar Nerf gun and some teeny tiny dog collars because he needed some for his stuffed animals, so that made him happy. And then, yeah, look at all these freckles. Good grief. I'm just all freckles. Then headed home. Danny was gone at that point to his dentist appointment, which Chris quickly escalated. They couldn't save that particular tooth, and so he was sent next door to an oral surgeon, and luckily they could fill him in. So he's in a world of pain because he had even more aggressive stuff done. But over the course of the next few months, that will get fixed, and it will not be a problem anymore. It's just going to be a rough couple months. Definitely a rough night for him because they didn't give him any pain medicine. He's just supposed to take Advil. It's not helping. If you get your jaw drilled into, Advil's not gonna really do it, but I get that they don't want to like give pain medicines because that's a whole thing. But yeah, so he was out. I got home, ate some breakfast. I did eat a tiny bit before going to the school because otherwise my stomach would growl whenever the office was quiet. But I ate my breakfast and just checked in on computer stuff. Then once I knew that I wasn't gonna have to pick up Danny, because he was like, there's a possibility he might be sedated, but he wasn't. So once I knew that I wouldn't, then I set up for paper mache. Ooh, that beach ball is big. And it's also not a circle, it's an oval, which is annoying me. I don't want my chain jump to be an oval. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Maybe I could try and get a little bit more air in it, but I think it's just an oval. So yeah, but I have kind of like a jaw shape. I think it's just like that. It doesn't even completely go around. So I might be able to move that once it's completely dry and then add to it so I stay more in a globe shape. I don't know. But I did that until bus time, cleaned up, and then Sebastian had wanted to do his cooking club. He apparently was so excited, he was telling his classmates that he was going to do a cooking club with his mom, and he said his friends didn't believe him. Like, why would they not believe him? I can cook with him. And we made his quiches. He was a little bit aggressive breaking the eggs, but that's why we did it in a separate bowl. But they came out good. I had one, they were little tiny things, so much cheese and cream, so that was all I could have, and I still feel it in my stomach, but I had to taste it. The whole house smells like quiches. And he's gonna have them for lunch tomorrow because he's just so excited and proud. I'm gonna have to send it to the teacher who runs his cooking club because she's gonna get a kick out of that. And then Danny came home while we were working on that. We made it through homework, but there was some drama. He wasn't happy, he wasn't listening. And one of the little online games, it would like flash some dots and you'd have to like have like 3 seconds to absorb how many dots there are and then replicate it, and you can't see it again. So there's absolutely no way with his inattentiveness that he could do that. It just wasn't going to happen. So I need to figure out, so if he has a focusing issue, what would the school accommodate him with? Would they just skip that one? Would they tell him what it is? So for next time I need to figure it out. And maybe I'll email his teacher, I don't know. I don't want to be a pain in the booty. But we made it through that, and then he got to go out and play. He did come back and check on if he could still play. He asked to go to the big playground, and I said he had to be home at 6. Dinner would be ready at 6. Don't leave the park at 6, be home at 6. And he's like, no problem, my friend has a watch. And I had dinner ready at 6. Danny was having soup, but I made like egg noodles, like butter noodle style, but I did olive oil. Seasoned noodles with veggies, and it was on the table at 6. And I ate all mine, and then at 6:20 I walked to the playground to get him and said, you missed dinner. So he had to eat by himself because everybody was done, but that's what it is. And yeah, on the way back into the house, I got the mail. Our mailman must be out. We had a substitute one. When I left the house to walk to the playground, he was just starting our little section of the block, and he was still there when I got back, and it was probably like 10 minutes later. I'm like, how are you still on the same like 12 houses? No wonder there's people complaining in the Facebook group. Has anybody gotten their mail? Poor guy, he's probably just doing the best he can. I mean, I've seen him a bunch of times in our neighborhood, so he's not completely new, but I get it. I would be delivering mail for 4 days for one day. Look at it. But yeah, I got the mail, and there was a snail mail from the middle school. I'm like, this is either good or very bad. It was good. It was both surprising and not surprising. He apparently won an award called an Impact Award, and that's an acronym. And let's see if I can remember it from my screenshot I took. It means inclusion, motivation, perseverance, altruism, compassion, and kinship. And all of these things absolutely absolutely. He is the kindest kid ever. Especially if you met him like 4 years ago before hormones hit. Now hormones, they have a little wall. A little wall build up, and he's a little prickly about having to go to public school. So we were like, I thought he kind of flies under the radar. It's his goal to not be seen. But I know him, and in class, his teachers are always like, oh, he always raises his hand. He's always contributing. If he knows something, he can't zip it. He has to tell people. If he knows it, it's coming out. So I don't know. There's been times as well where he's been called to the dean's office because he witnessed something, and he's like, they made me tattle. I hate it. They made me be a snitch. So I don't know. But here we are. I've got to RSVP for an award ceremony. I'm supposed to bring his Dean's List pennant and get a special pin. I don't even know if he's going to make the Dean's List this semester, because right now we're riding with 3 Bs, but they're so close. One of them's a mid B, but the other 2 are like 88 and 89. So I'm like, you need to start focusing. The end of the month is the end of the quarter. It's okay to get like 1 B, though preferably none, because we're looking at Special Technical Academy, just not for 9th grade. We're looking ahead at the 2-year program because that's more specialized for what he wants to do. So we need to concentrate on the grades. But yeah, that's my update. I've just wasted 11 minutes of my bath, so I'm going to eat this donut, which seems way too sweet to be breakfast. So it's going to be cake for dessert, and I'm going to enjoy my bath. And yeah, I'm just going to say goodnight, I think. So good night, stay safe, be kind, and don't forget, wash your hands.